All right then. Welcome back to the dig, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. So, in case anyone was confused about because we got very distracted by wrestling talk last week, what's actually gone on? So that little possum thing, basically
Yeah,
broke a door mechanism, by
that's right.
rubbing basically the actual the divot, the button off the door. So we had to catch it first, and then we used that bracelet we found on the skeleton to track it. So now we can track. We tracked it to somewhere in this area, but not actually this area. So we have to figure out where the hell it's gone. So that's the next puzzle: is to try and track down a possum. These are just the things you just have to accept on an alien planet, lads. You know,
I
that's
know. And the fact that the
rodents and
bridge now
pests.
looks like a wizard's hat.
Yeah, it does actually, doesn't it? Obviously, this is
Sorry,
the Wizard's
Sam,
Cove.
but your little house is about to get a big front door.
And I suppose technically you probably could have been able to spot the possum going through this, but again, you just have to kind of read your compass and see if where it's actually taking you.
Using
And there we
compass
go.
orb.
It's got to be right out.
Comporb?
This
Orbmus?
is where the trackers are.
Orb pass? I
Cornporb.
don't know.
Cornporb just sounds wrong. That sounds
Doesn't it?
dark.
What if I hadn't brought this shovel
Corborb.
along?
I don't like that.
Purr,
I don't like
purr,
that.
purr, purr.
It does sound like a failed attempt at a Pokemon. Like that's supposed to be like the third of form of Voltorb.
It's like the seventh generation where they just start making
Yeah.
shit up at that point.
Exactly. Well, I mean, it's about 1,000 now, Aaron. I think we're beyond that stage.
The door open.
Yeah, after Gen 1, I just stopped.
Well, here's his name.
Sure, you play Pokemon Go till I got all the original Pokemon and all the God ones, and I just went, right, I'm done now. Haven't touched the game in 2 years.
Yeah. It's the 151 for me. I'm just an OG. Like,
Yeah.
Oh dear. Poor innocent fools. You've no idea of what you missed.
I do.
about 850, 51, no, 849. That's what we missed.
I'll tell you now exactly. I think we are in quadruple figures now. If we're including the
Now within
ceremonial ones and the event ones and all the everything stuff in between, we are at
Now let's get this thing
1,025.
closed up and
That's
Official,
ridiculous.
official Pokemon.
Yes.
open sesame.
Igningmo.
Not now.
Right, let's pause it. Let's go. 1, 2.
Dance manky dance, I think you find. Okay,
One of
right.
these engraved
So here's another puzzle, lads. Try and figure out what this room is before it happens.
It's a diamond.
Well,
Is it-
no, it's not a
Is it-
diamond. No.
Is it you know what? I'm not even
Oh,
gonna
we're about to enter a
The
game.
scepter seems
Anybody
to
tell me
have
what game this is?
It's the Crystal Maze!
It was what I thought of as well, but it's not it's not a game show. Richard O'Brien's not going to pop out from the window there.
Well, that's
Ah,
fucking
what a
pointless.
letdown.
Seems to have an electric
Yeah.
charge.
So again, it is a building. It's like at first sight, you would not tell, you wouldn't be able to tell what it is just from first sight. But well, there's one of our plates, by the way, we need for that fancy door back at the tram station.
I can see
Tram
outside.
station just sounds wrong, doesn't it?
Well, that's what it is. It's like essentially is a train. It is like Grand Central. Whatever the main area is, it's Grand Central. That's basically what it is.
It did sound like it was a tramp station.
Oh right, fair. Well, that's
Yeah.
around the corner, Aaron, so don't worry. Tune in later on for that. So we've been given two as it's like like pedestals, like plinths, if you like, from where it was, and one's colored gold and one's colored silver. So again, not to put a final point on it, but
No, here we go.
let's see if this helps.
It's a trap.
It
Technically
depicts
speaking,
the
yes, but
planet.
that comes in a few minutes.
It's a depiction of the largest moon of this planet.
So, any guesses on what this room is meant to be?
Telescope.
It's a
Yeah, that's what I was
representation
thinking,
of the
like,
smallest
yeah.
moon of this planet.
I'll give it to you. It's an observatory.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
the word I was going for.
Okay,
yeah.
very,
Yeah,
very
yeah.
big telescope.
Yeah, rather like organized telescope.
See,
So basically, what the crack is there is that one of the statues there represents the sun, obviously the gold one, and the silver one represents the moons. Now, the use of this room will not become apparent until we reach another location. But just for the sake of convenience here, I'm preempting because I've done again played this game a few times and know that the puzzle can be a bit repetitive. So what the silver scepter is doing there is essentially going to place the moons in a certain direction and a place. So wherever we put the scepter on the screen here is going to place those moons in a particular way. So I'm going to again ask another question here. What could you do with moons compared, like when you were, shall we say, relative to the sun?
Perhaps it's this planet.
move them closer.
Eclipse.
Say that again, Aaron.
Eclipse.
An eclipse is the right answer. So we're going to do it. We're going to make an eclipse.
Guess who listened in fucking school?
Yeah, there you go. So
Not this fella because he failed his leaving cert. We can all.
Yes. So, we're going to do something similar here. So, like, obviously, there's the kind of eclipse thing going on here at the moment. So, what we're going to do is going to rearrange the moon so that we're basically going to, I'll shift the patterns around. So, like, I'm trying to demonstrate here, like so now that I've now moved the light source to a different place. Hence, why we have this unique graphic, and look what we have. Now we have some sort of moonlight appearing at a different location.
That looked like a boiled egg there for a minute in the back now.
No.
It did look a bit eggy, didn't it? It was like the egg god has risen, and he's scrambled.
He's trapped because
Yeah.
the possum-style creature nicked the thing again.
The possum got him again. Some bitch.
Yeah.
But look, shit happens. So there you go. So that's the puzzle here. Basically, is that when we get to that, basically those moons when they align will that'll make sense once we get there, and yeah, we'll cross the bridge when we come to it. So you see once you have those moons aligned in a certain direction, then they'll appear from that stone structure there. I think Fuji, I think I actually do like stop this by accident, I think, in a few minutes. So just in case you're confused as to why I just like stopped, I broke the puzzle, and that's why. So don't worry about it. Is the answer to my question there?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there you go. I think what I was trying to do was trying to actually demonstrate the puzzle better, but it just broke. It just made it worse. So I will explain the puzzle instead, because tell don't show is much better than show don't tell.
It's like me trying to do cases and work. I can fix this to make it even better. I do not.
That never works out as intended. I can tell you for a fact. It's like I was even working on something today, and I was just like, if I just change the color to this, actually, nope, that makes it absolutely worse. Never mind. Let's not do that again.
Actually, I had a caller today in my place, and my particular business is not delivered to Northern Ireland.
Well,
the reason it doesn't deliver to Northern Ireland is because the system can't decipher whether it's Ireland or the UK. So if you try to do deliveries to an address in Northern Ireland, it just shits itself and sends it to a random location in the UK. SAP is not very good sometimes.
Yes, I believe that's the case.
The odd time we get a call going, why don't you deliver to the UK? Or sorry, why don't you deliver to Northern Ireland? It's part of the UK. You said you deliver in the UK. Like it does, but it's mainland UK, Scotland, Wales, and England. And I genuinely thought it was Ian Paisley at the other end of the phone. He literally said, why don't you deliver to the sovereign land of the UK, Northern Ireland? And I actually sat there and I had to go. I looked at my manager and Chris, listen to my last call. You won't do fuck anything anyway. And he just turned around and went, so we can, Bob, no.
I like that. See, that it was you that took the call as well. Like, imagine you're just kind of sitting there going, "Don't be a Fenian, don't be a Fenian, don't be a Fenian."
Why was my piece of furniture not assembled in Northern Ireland? Why does it not contain pieces from Northern Ireland?
Specifically, 6 pieces.
Why am I having to deal with Southerners like yourself? You wee Catholic cunt.
I believe that now, Dave. You know as well as I do. You can't use terms like that on the internet. The correct term is Rosie Rattler.
Ooh, it's pretty.
You gotta get yourself cancelled.
Religion's great, isn't it?
Pope's gonna come after me. Remember when we had to reassemble that turtle so we could blow up a Leopardon? That was good.
That
fun.
was fun.
That was great crack.
Leopardon.
I missed that.
Yeah. So does Leopardon. Dead now. Last one in existence. Just killed off an endangered species right there.
Ah, yes. The tram of the
Yep.
future.
I mean,
To be
I'm
fair,
okay.
it's not impossible. All you
Yeah.
have to do is put it in a gyrosphere, have a seat that'll just stay central as it
Hmm.
goes around, and you could build that. That's buildable in the present time.
I think it would be tremendously whimsical if we all travel around like that game Monkey Ball. So was it Super Monkey Ball? The PS2
Yeah,
one?
Super Monkey Ball 2. Yep.
Yeah, that would be fucking great. Like, just imagine that. Like, you can go into your whatever like transit, transit you have, your commute into work. You don't have to deal with anybody bar your happy blue ball. Like,
That'd be nice.
I'm sorry, but I'm
I'm sorry, but you're all wrong. The most effective form of transport that we all need to have is the tubes from Futurama.
Yeah.
this is with a view to
Yeah.
the tube. Yeah, I get that, but then there is also a little thing called physics, Aaron. At least the gyroscope is realistic. It is something that you can do in the year of our.
Getting air sucked. That doesn't work. No.
No.
No, air
It's
air
like a
suck
big
is fine.
Hoover.
No, look, you
It-
can get sucked off and not sucked up.
Yeah. No. The actual vacuum part, the actual suction is fine. It's the landing is the problem. You won't be able to stop your momentum quick enough for it not to break your body in half with the G forces.
I just put a big trampoline there, it'll be fine. Boing, flip, off.
No, factually incorrect on multiple counts.
They
Bold,
haven't
Aaron.
discovered physics in Cork yet.
Oh,
Now,
by
we
the way,
discovered physics. There's one at the Russian. Go on.
sorry, no, I just wanted to say that this puzzle I called the Doug Trio puzzle. And yes,
Oh,
it
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
So what we're doing here is basically one of the plinths. You'll notice that the crystals there are arranged in the same form as the island that we're on. If you notice the light bridges, the configuration is like one central kind of hub and then 5 towers around. So there's one of the towers there that doesn't need to be lit according to the crystal, which means it has no power. Which explains
So
why
you
one of the
have
doors
to
open.
decide what size your erection is going to be to turn that on.
A little bit, yes. So what's happening, you probably can't quite make it out, but like basically all the crystals have a slightly different tone to it. But if you also look at the crystal itself on the left, that's actually been getting brighter or darker based on how, like, basically where you put the crystals at. So each power tube rather, basically has to be at a certain range, and then that bit of crystal lights up. And when you have all 3 of them in range, then the crystal will come back to life then, because it's like a harmonics thing. You have to get them at the right frequency. There you go.
Hey!
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. And now all of a sudden, the trams are back working on that side.
What a tosser Ruben Amorim is, eh?
No, he's a beautiful, beautiful Portuguese man.
Clueless.
Will Aaron take the bait? Tune in next week to find out, ladies and gentlemen.
I fucking won't, because sometimes it's just a bit too obvious.
Yeah. This is the funny thing about, like... Yeah,
that's it. It's over.
But that's
Many
all
Euros
bullshit.
starting. They're losing.
This is going to be the fun thing for viewers watching this series for the next couple of weeks, because we've recorded it on the same day as a Man United match. I mean, what are the chances? And we're just going to be
Aaron in front
enjoying...
of a screen.
We're either going to have a really, really smug Aaron for the next couple of weeks, or going to have an absolutely clinically depressed Aaron. There is no in between. Like,
I've kind of accepted the fact after the Arsenal.
And distracted
after
Aaron,
the Arsenal victory. like, yeah, distracted. Yeah, but I'm always distracted, so that doesn't really fucking change. But I'm kind of accepting the fact after the Arsenal game and how the high of that game, right, that we probably will lose this.
But
God
you see, this is
will-
actually-
God will Gakoni to score the winner, number 87 there on the bench.
yeah, why not? I like that.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, that's why it's actually kind of like a relief that we didn't do it, say, when you did beat Arsenal in the cup, because you would have been fucking insufferable.
I would have been fucking awful to deal with.
Yeah.
I've been so awful in my group chat with my Cork friends the last couple of days. We caused arguments about who were the worst set of fans. And it was like, and I don't care what anyone says. There's a lot, my brother's an Arsenal fan, right? Because he's my brother, I want him to win the league. Just for that, right? I want him to be happy. You know, best year of his life, you're married, Arsenal winning the league, great for everyone all around, right?
Yeah, fair.
You
Yeah.
also don't want him to win the league because his friend Ryan, who's also one of the groomsmen at his wedding, is also an Arsenal fan. And if they win, I'll have to listen to him for the next 40 fucking years of his life talking about that one title win. So it's, you know, hit and miss.
You're in a bit of a rock and a hard place, though, aren't you? Because, like, okay, yeah, if Arsenal win the league, yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. You know, you're gonna have to listen to it about that. But if Liverpool win, you're gonna be hearing about it every day from us.
But I also have Liverpool fans in that group, right?
Yeah.
And
so, like,
they're not
gonna
half as annoying. They're
It's
way
a
too
selfish
level.
choice here.
But they're way too level-headed. They're way too realistic. Like, you know, they're
Red
fine.
weather, mate.
And then you have the one other fan inside the group that follows a fucking outlier, which is Wigan. And really, we can't mock him because it's like punching a sick baby. You can do it, but it's not
But why
fun,
would you?
is it?
Yeah.
Hold on. Is everyone paying attention to the fact that the owner of Sheffield Wednesday's been there for a decade?
It's a small moon. It's an enormous moon.
He says the fans of, if you don't want to watch the club, don't come to the
I've
stadium.
seen that. I was so. What, you want me to send the club? Buy for me.
No,
Go on then, buy it for me.
I'm not accepting any offers. I'm not even looking to sell it. Like,
I can't
fucking
believe
I'm
brilliant.
back refused to leave.
it's half buried.
He's there 10 years. It's the greatest. Like, do you know the way I am
Let's
with
see if this plate can be
Baz Tay in the FM save,
Yes.
right? He's like that with Sheffield Wednesday. He just doesn't give a fuck about the fans and wants to prove them wrong, even though he can't.
You gotta admire the vitriol there, but especially when like it goes completely against your business plan.
Yeah.
Could this be
Like,
some sort
at
of
which point does spite actually become profitable? That's the real question here. Okay, pop quiz again, lads. What the
Yes.
fuck is this building?
It's a roughly carved hole in the wall. What purpose?
The
could
pyramids
this
of
serve?
Giza. Newgrange.
Fuck
You
off.
are technically correct on both,
I can't
Aaron.
use these two things.
What is the range? What are the
They're
pyramids?
tombs. It's a tomb.
They're
It's a grave.
tombs. They've got it
Tomb.
there. So between the two
Got
of
there
you,
before you, Aaron, you prick.
so this pillar, this area is the tombs.
Oh.
And dare I ask, what would the moons be there for?
What with the
Aaron?
what? The moon.
What-
Shine,
what
to shine light on a very specific spot in it. To
Like
activate.
how Newgrange works.
Yeah.
So there you go. And in fact, that
Yeah,
is
Katrina and the Wave
illustration
style.
of it there. So there you go. Yeah. So this is where we are at the tomb pillar.
Hmm.
Nothing confused by
That's a map.
Yep.
Uh-oh. Looks like the
So that's what I was talking about earlier on about the crystals, where like the five plinths are all kind of connected to this central kind of location that we may or may not have been in before. But of course, as tradition states, we have to fix light bridges first. So actually, funny story, right? So the first time I played this game, I was playing it blind. Didn't do it for like YouTube or anything like that. So I was playing it for my own amusement, and I didn't realize that basically from the first light bridge, there's actually a common enough bug that came out with this game, which is very unlike LucasArts to ship out games with a bug. But there's a bug in the game where if the first light bridge doesn't work for you, then you are soft locked from that point on, because the end of the game requires you to have all 5 light bridges active. So if the first one doesn't work for you, you basically just have to restart your game, like new for a save file and the whole lot. Like, yeah, it's very, very unlike them to release a game like the in that way. And it's one of those things where, like, unfortunately, it's such a random happenstance. It just doesn't come up in testing, you know. Um,
It's just one of those things that you wouldn't catch. Then when the game comes out, people realize and you're like, well, shit, we can't do it now.
yeah,
By the way,
Fuck,
Aaron,
can't fix it now.
like it's unfortunate, and I think like it's also like I think a lot of people, I wouldn't say a lot of companies, but like a lot of companies inherently just get caught out because, um, especially nowadays, because there's only so much beta testing you can actually do with builds that you have, and then especially now with digital downloads and all these different things that like realistically you're gonna get all the errors and bugs you're gonna get from a first week release anyway. So in a weird way, you kind of save money by having a basic level of beta testing to make sure that it's like, the game is functional and it's not like, going to fucking eat your fucking console. But for in terms of the actually more obscure bugs or performance issues and stuff like that, like once you release a game, that first week is more than enough like information that you need to start repairing shit. But the problem is then your if you had extra content planned or stuff like that, your efforts are now going to actually tidying it up again before you release other shit. It was like Mass Effect had that problem with Andromeda, where they had all great intentions of having these DLCs and like expansion like lore to tie stuff in with the original Mass Effect trilogy, and the game that they brought out initially was just so bad and just not so unfit for purpose that they ended up having to start again.
Here's the issue with the digital download generation is because companies, game companies, big ones, AAA companies, who are now running it more as a capitalistic profit and loss business, can release games in alpha, calling them finished articles, and then spend the next 2 years, for example, Cyberpunk, spend the next 2 years fixing them. So where the game is not actually the finished article till 2 years into its life cycle.
I think with Cyberpunk as well, that's kind of a half an outlier. I don't think they had intentions to release that game so bad. It was just that it got delayed so much. It was like, we delayed it again, we're fucked here. We delayed it too much. It was the same.
No Man's Sky is in that category as well.
No Man's Sky as well,
God, yeah.
Well, fair
that game is
right?
really, really good to play now, but it is because of the fact that like, that project had gone on for so long,
they shut
they had to release it.
They had no excuses. They shut the fuck up. They locked up for basically what was a year, putting out the patches once every so often and fix the game to the point where people were just like, yeah, you put out an awful game at the start. Jesus Christ.
But every game is like that now. I mean, FC25 was only finished today.
See, that's
the latest patch
well.
fixed the game like where it's playing like it should have done on release. Like that's 6 months after it's been released.
That's EA though.
Yeah, but you can't keep saying like, that's EA. It happens to everything.
Yeah, that's what happens when you commit to a yearly release. Whether it's because again the publishers are again this is unfortunately the double-edged sword because the gamers whatever will insist on a yearly release because that's what they buy and that's what they play and stuff like that. Understandable, but it's also the publishers and their larger companies.
Actually, you know what? I think with FIFA that is an outlier now. I think it's very much. I think people wouldn't mind if they went 2 years out of this.
Well, they don't have any competition until 2K comes out with FIFA 2K26 or whatever it is.
Yeah. So I can understand that. So then they have to up their competition. But even fucking who learned their lesson? Who does Assassin's Creed again?
Ubisoft. Ubisoft are shit house at the moment.
Yeah. But at least even they've realised we couldn't release Assassin's Creed when we wanted to. They delayed it till March. And I'm happy with that because Mirage was a pile of shite. Nothing hooked me into that game at all. I downloaded it, I put 3 hours into it, I never picked it back up again. That's very pretty, right? I never picked it back up again.
That's lovely.
And I had no drive to pick it back up again. Jesus Christ. I had no drive to pick it back up again. I had no inkling to pick it back up again. There was nothing hooking me. At least with Valhalla, there was something there that hooked me back in. The main character in it, she was good. It's the same with it was the same with Odyssey. Not a particularly great game, but she was good. She was a fun character to play with. I can't remember what her name is. Cassandra. There we go.